I'm back for a special edition. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Astishan, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, the rumor mill is going hot and it's going nuts because what we're about to be, the trade deadline is approaching next week. I think it's on Thursday, February the 10th. And the NBA is going nuts about it, and one of the teams that is being most talked about is the Raptors. So for my combination video of Raptor news as well as the NBA, without any further ado, let's talk the trade deadline. So first of all, I just want to get this out of the way. What the hell, Clippers, and what the hell, Kawhi Leonard? You are making the damn Toronto Raptors in Los Angeles. You could have just stayed here, bro. Now the Clippers trade for Norman Powell and Robert Covington or whatever. First they signed Serge Ibaka, and they're taking Kawhi Leonard is there, and they're trying everything in their power to get every player that the Raptors, either release or that their contract expires on, and the Clippers just seem to want to pick them up because they want to build the Raptors. That's what Kawhi is doing. That dumbass could have just stayed with us and would have won another championship at least, because we still had everybody there for another year and we made it to the second round to only lose by I think it was a buzzer against the Celtics. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop trying this shit, Clippers. You ain't no Raptors. Your fan base is no Raptors. It is a Laker town no matter how much you try. So leave the area and quiet, stop this bullshit, bro. Stop taking the players that were at the Raptors just because you think they're good. You could have just stayed and try to win a championship with us. But that's just something I want to get out of the way. So the first rumor I want to talk about is James Harden's no longer wanting to be in Brooklyn. Now I can understand where he's coming from. If I showed up for a job, I was promised a shitload of stuff like a championship that everybody would do doing their job. I would, that's the reason he came to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, Kyrie's not doing his job because he just wants to sit on his damn high horse, and KD keeps getting hurt. So James Harden is left with nothing, and he's unhappy about that. And being the third fiddle doesn't make sense either. So why the hell wouldn't he want to be out of there? But do I think it's going to happen? Hell no. Especially for Ben Simmons? Hell no. Why? Because Ben Simmons, just like Shaq said, is a crybaby. Now, as a 25-year-old, you should be able to hear criticism. So the news came out that he's upset with what Doc Rivers said after the game when they had recently lost, just like 10 minutes away from the loss, where he said, hey, we don't know if we can win with him. And he's being a little crybaby about it, or a little bitch in my opinion, because he's upset and he's psychologically messed him up. But dude, as a 25-year-old, like, that's like if you fail an exam, you're like, oh my god, my life is over. No, grow up, do your job. You get paid millions of dollars to do your job. Show up and do your job. Chris Broussard made a very, very good point on first things first. He said that Doc Rivers defended this guy when everybody was telling him to bench his ass. And he's upset with just one comment in a heat of moment after you just recently lost, shows the immaturity for Ben Simmons. So I do not believe Ben Simmons is going to be moved during this trade line. Even if he is moved, he's going to be moved to a crap team for a crap package that's going to be coming back. He was never a superstar in my opinion, and he is no longer a superstar. A superstar does not act this way. What makes superstars are people like LeBron James that conduct themselves professionally no matter what happens. LeBron went through shit in a Maverick series when he went right away to the Miami Heat. And he didn't act like a baby. He didn't give up on the Heat. He didn't do any of the stuff. He went through the psychological issues and then he came back. And that's what you got to do. And this kid is just sitting there, he's getting fined for some of the money, but he's still getting paid and acting like a little, again, like I said, a crybaby, and I don't want to use the other word again. So I don't think Ben Simmons is going to be moved. Now, let's get to the Raptors. So there are rumors that the Raptors are interested in Miles Turner or Jakob Poeltl or Danilo Gallinari. There we go. What do I think about these trades? Number one, so Miles Turner. Would I want Miles Turner on the Raptor? Yes. But is it going to happen? Or should it happen? No. Why? Because the cost that's associated with Miles Turner is pretty high. He's an $18 million player per year. His contract's going to expire next year, and he's likely going to walk away because, again, these American players do not enjoy playing in Toronto that often, especially due to the cold weather. Now, the cost for him is going to involve somebody like either Gary Trent Jr. or Gianna Nobi. I don't think Pascal and Freddie are touchable right now. Or, possibly young guns like Delano Banton or Precious Achua. Now, would I trade him for Precious Achua? Yes, I would. But is that possible? No. So it's going to be a higher cost. It's going to involve some draft capitals that we will probably have to give up. Now, if we can get Miles Turner for, let's say, Malachi Flynn, Svima Hyluk, Goran Dragic to match the salary, and a possible first rounder, yes, I would make that trade. But I don't think Miles Turner is going to happen if it means, or it shouldn't happen if it means we have to give up one of our core pieces. Now, in regards to Jakob Poeltl, I think that can happen and that should happen because the cost for Jakob Poeltl will be a little bit cheaper because what San Antonio is trying to do is they're trying to go younger as well as trying to build on it. Now, San Antonio does have some guards that are good, but would they be willing to take on somebody like Malachi Flynn, who is a both offensive and defensive oriented player, and his defense better? That's what Popovich prioritized as well. And is a culture guy who is, developing very well, even though Nick Nurse doesn't use him. So would we be able to get him for Malachi Flynn, possibly, throw Goran Dragic in there and a draft capital? Yes, that trade would be workable, and that trade would give us a 7-footer that we will be able to use whenever we're getting killed in the paint. Recently, we haven't been because we've been pretty good. We've been doing team defense, but it's tiring our guys out. So a 7-footer would be very helpful. Now, the third person, Danilo Gallinari, or whatever, Gallinari. Should we trade for him? Hell no. He is slow. He is inconsistent. He's been like that ever since he got injured after coming into the league. And the cost, unless it's just a second rounder, it ain't worth it to get rid of a young asset like Malachi or Sivi or possibly, Isaac Bonga, those guys. No. We're building for the future. Even if we don't win this year, Danilo Gallinari doesn't put us that high anyways. He's a waste. And to make that type of trade, it ain't worth it. We already have 6'9" footers, enough for them, man, who can spread the floor, shoot the three, do all of those things. We need either a center or a guard. And that's where I come to my prediction. Well, not my prediction, but something I would like to happen. New York Knicks are planning on blowing their shit up. So Evan Fournier is not working out. Kemba Walker is not working out. So I don't consider Kemba Walker anyways because he plays no defense. He wouldn't fit into the Raptors, and he's very, very expensive. Evan Fournier, on the other hand, is making, $17 million a year for the next 4 years because he just signed the deal this year. Could you trade him because New York Knicks might want to get rid of some salary cap coming year so they can sign some sort of free agent? So could you trade him for Goran Dragic straight up? Maybe throw in a second rounder to entice the Knicks a little bit? And get a bench piece who is a very good scorer who can create off the dribble for himself. Plays pretty good defense, not the greatest. But would that be helpful for us? Hell yes. And should we make that trade? Yes, we should. Because if Svi, or you can just, get rid of Svi as well. So you get a little bit of salary dump there for yourself. But, salaries match between Goran and Evan Fournier. It wouldn't be expensive, and it would give us a very good scorer off of the bench who can give that oomph because he has shown that he has that killer mentality in him, so he would fit with us very well. So that's what I have for you guys for the recent news for the NBA trade rumors. And just want to talk to you guys about that. Let me know what you guys think about the idea of Evan Fournier and what you guys think about the trade scenarios for the Raptors, as well as what's going on with the Ben Simmons and James Harden exchange possibility. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Help my channel grow. And I will see you guys hopefully at the next rumor or after the game against the Charlotte Hornets on Monday.